Hello everybody, my name is Alex and welcome to a video where I'm going to take a look at the Korea and Netherlands civilization, which were both announced in Rise and Fall a couple of months ago. I was going to do it with the latest ones, but I thought why not start with the beginning. So what I've done in this video is I have taken a first look at these civilizations, done a little bit of analysis on their bonuses, but I've also tried to tie in a bit of history with them. So we'll see how that goes. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, I can't believe this is embarrassing, but I only came across the civilization kind of type up of them 3/4 of the way through making the video, so there might be a few things missing, but I'm not sure. And there's definitely things in my video that aren't on there, so please do make sure you check it out. Leave your thoughts and suggestions to the concept in the comment section below, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. So, in Rise and Fall, Korea is going to be led by Queen Sundok. I apologise already for the pronunciation of some of these words. She was the first female ruler of the Korean Peninsula-based Silla Kingdom. Throughout the kingdom's history, the Kingdom of Silla held power and prominence on the Korean Peninsula, especially after it conquered the majority of it in 668. But it's a bit of a surprise to kind of see her. On one hand, it isn't, because I know the developers were talking a lot about bringing more female rulers in. I'm not sure if it was in the first live stream they mentioned that. So to add more diversity, which I think is quite a good thing. I think if you look through history, a lot of the best rulers have been females. So in that way, it's not surprising. But then again, it is, because King Senjog, or Seong, whatever. I apologise for the pronunciation again. The Great. Which he was a really good leader for Korea, and he was in Civilization 5, so I was kind of surprised not to see him return. He had a large range of achievements, ranging from his successful negotiations with the Chinese Ming dynasties. He also strengthened Korea's military to help defend them against the Japanese, and I think also strengthened their border against the Chinese. So he had a lot of achievements in that. He also progressed Korea scientifically really well, and overall, during his reign, Korea was a lot more prosperous. So that's probably why he's got the Great in his name, because he was a good leader. So in that way, it's kind of surprising that that she has become Korea's leader. But then again, it's also not that surprising at the same time. So Korea can build the unique Saewon, which replaces the campus. From history, Saewons were educational institutes, largely for the aristocratic Yangbang class. I apologise for my pronunciation, I know it's terrible. So they were present in Korea during the Joseon or Joseon dynasty between the early 15th century and the late 19th century. As a district in Civilization 6, the Saewon must be built on a hill and has a strong fixed yield of science. From what we can tell from the first look video, that looks like 6. So, in addition to this, Korea's unique ability, which is 3 kingdoms, means mines built adjacent to the Saewon yield bonus science, and farms yield bonus food. So that's really good. That's going to encourage you to build your farms and mines, and well, you're going to try and build your Saewon where you can build farms and mines around it, out of the way of your other districts. And the main reason you're going to build it out of the way of your other districts is because, unlike what we're used to in Civilization 6, building other districts adjacent to the Saewon detracts from the fixed yield, making it beneficial to basically build the Saewon away. So if you can surround your Saewon with mines and farms, you should be looking good and setting yourself up well for the rest of the game. So Korea's unique unit is going to be the Hwacha. This unit played a vital role in the defence of the Korean Peninsula against the Japanese invasions between 1592 and 1598. So the unit was one predominantly used in the defence of the Korean lands, which we can see from this fact. And this is reflected within the game. So although the Hwacha is, quote, a devastating Renaissance era ranged unit, I quoted that from the first look video, it cannot move and attack in the same turn, making it, for me, probably predominantly useful for defence. I see Korea as quite a defensive civilization. So although it is, you could possibly use it for attacking people, I think it will be better suited to just kind of fortifying and stopping people coming in and taking what's yours. So, what I read, I've had a quick look around YouTube, seeing what people were saying about this unit and the internet, and I saw a little bit of kind of people wanting the turtle ship to return from Civ 5. I understand that. Like, the turtle ship, I think it played a vital role in the wars of the Japanese invasions again between 1592 and 1598. But I think the Hwacha will be more suited and beneficial to this incarnation of Korea. Like, I love playing naval units, but I can see Korea being quite a continent-based civilization. So, whereas the turtle ship, you could kind of use it to defend islands and things, I think the Hwacha might be more suited to defending your kind of landmass of Korea in Rise and Fall. Queen Sundok's unique ability is Hwarang. See, my pronunciation is terrible, I apologise once again. But this basically means... Oh, by the way, it is actually the name of a South Korean TV series, as I'm sure you'd all want to know. But this means that established cities with established governors get plus 5% culture and plus 5% science. Now, because this is percentages, this would really encourage me to probably play a bit taller than wider. So I think that's where I'd possibly go with Korea. Things like this encouraging me to play taller. The way I'd play Korea is to attempt to survive until the mid-game and establish my civilization early. Now, that could be quite difficult. You've even got the Mongols in Rise and Fall. Never mind the rest of the early aggressive civilizations in the base game. So I think establishing an early civilization, if you can do that and actually survive till the mid-game, you're going to be in a really good position to have a good chance of winning a technology victory. Yeah, so Korea basically, it presents a really strong chance to pursue a science victory, and it is very much geared to technologically thriving later in the game. So if you can establish that early empire, you can definitely use your unique unit to defend you in the mid-game. You can fortify yourself while you really press home your advantage in science. So that's how I'm going to play Korea. I think it'll work quite well for me because I'll not be playing on deity. I'm just not up to that standard yet. So I think as a defensive civilization, which you can kind of build on, I think it'll be quite interesting. Whether it'll make an interesting playthrough on YouTube or my channel, I don't know. So I'm not quite sure if I'll play through them on YouTube. But I'll definitely be having a look at them, at least on my own. Next up is Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands. The first look video highlights multiple significant facts about her life, such as the fact she was the longest reigning Dutch monarch, and that she reigned for 58 years, including over the 2 World Wars. Other interesting facts about Wilhelmina include she was reportedly the world's first female billionaire. Ooh, fancy. And in her later years, she wrote her autobiography, Lonely But Not Alone. I've had a quick look at some of the reviews of the autobiography, and I think essentially it just talks about her personal feelings about her reign rather than events. It also talks a lot about her religion and how that has been how that was important to her during her reign. Anyway, her reign included much more than just these facts though. So, whilst the Dutch government was in exile in Britain during World War II, Queen Wilhelmina worked with the BBC to transmit inspirational messages of resistance to people in the occupied Netherlands. This gave them both the hope and will to disrupt the Germans and eventually, when the time came, be in a position to support the liberation of their country. A famous quote here. So this is from Winston Churchill. He famously described her as the only real man among the exiled governments present in London during the Second World War. Can you imagine saying that? The only real man? Wow. And that is a very 1940s way of essentially saying she was the strongest leader of all the governments in exile. Maybe as well while poking like the French with a stick, like, Charles de Gaulle. I don't know. I think they're in exile in London were the French, especially I think in 1943 they definitely were, but anyway. So even following her abdication in 1948, she passed the throne down to her daughter because she was suffering from illness. Wilhelmina continued to be an inspirational figure, evident in her return to the public eye following the disastrous North Sea floods of 1953. So she's been pretty well received as a leader of in Civilization 6 and as the Dutch faction, from what I can see, and I think that's unsurprising because she had so many great achievements during her reign and was such a positive public figure that it's not really a surprise at all how well received she has been. Now, if you think my pronunciation of Korea's bonuses was bad, then you're about to probably hear something on a completely different level. So the Netherlands' unique ability is, if you break it down, it's actually not that difficult. Grote Rivieren. Oh, that was surprisingly good for me, which can be split into 2 parts. So the first part means that campuses, theatre squares and industrial zones next to a river reward major adjacency bonuses of +2. Although not as strong as Korea's Seo-1, at least not at base level, this is a more well-rounded bonus and has the potential to be powerful in multiple areas, including, especially if your city planning is good. So I'm talking about district adjacency bonuses and obviously mountain adjacency bonuses, if you get what I mean. So if you can plan your city well, these can work really well together. Whereas with the Seo-1, you obviously can't build any districts around it. You can build mines and things which give you additional bonuses around it, but I think this could work better as a whole if you can just kind of get your city planning right. So the second part of the Netherlands' unique ability is that building a harbour grabs adjacent available tiles, like a culture bomb essentially. In my opinion, this ability isn't going to be incredibly powerful for the Netherlands, but as anything that grabs land is nice, it'll be a nice luxury, but more importantly, I think it'll work really well with their unique improvement, the polder. So we'll go on a little bit now to talk about the polder. I'll not bore you with some really boring polder facts, which I've got highlighted in yellow on here. I'll talk about something else. So there are polders all around the world, ranging from Japan to France and Canada to India. But obviously the polders we're going to discuss in this video are going to be the Dutch polders. And we're going to talk a bit more about how the Dutch have reclaimed land and how I think this ties in well with their unique bonus. So, yeah, the Netherlands are famous for reclaiming their land from the sea and for their ingenuity in draining the wetlands and making them suitable for agriculture. So, if you look on a map, the Netherlands is a country of Northern Europe and it has about 280 miles of coastline with the North Sea. I think over 20% of it, off the top of my head from the reading I did, 20% of it I think at least is below sea level. So you can see how they are constantly fighting flooding and how they have done throughout their history. So yeah, the people of the Netherlands and their ancestors have been attempting to push the sea back for thousands of years, long before the creation of the country in 1815, but it was not until relatively recently have they achieved any major success. By that I mean, I don't know, they've obviously had successes, but major success, I think that's come with as the advancement of technology has allowed them to build bigger and better barriers to the sea. So, a couple of facts here. So, they reclaimed the the Zuid de Zee in 1932, but I think it was the construction of the North Sea Protection Works, which is actually often considered a wonder of the modern world, and the claiming of the Flevoland in 1986 that presented a real ingenuity and an engineering triumph for the Dutch. So if you want to have a look at them more, you can just Google it. It comes up in Wikipedia, although you're not meant to use Wikipedia as a source. For these kind of things, I tend to trust it, because if you're going to write a load of lies that seem this convincing on the Wikipedia page for the Dutch, then you probably deserve to con me, because anyway. So as well on the polders, it's quite interesting that since the 1200s, windmills have been used to pump away excess water from the agriculture, leading them to become associated with the country, and therefore it's unsurprising that they are visible on the Dutch polder in Civilization 6. So yeah. In Civilization 6, the polder celebrates this incredible achievement of Dutch engineering to reclaim lost land by the sea, something as well celebrated in the harbour culture bomb. I'm a bit iffy on that point, because it is grabbing sea territory, but I think the harbour culture bomb is probably more geared towards encouraging you to build harbours, get more trade routes, etc., build a trading empire. Anyway, in Civilization 6, the polder can be built on a coast or lake tile if it's surrounded by 3 flat, non-hill tiles. So although this could make it difficult to build a good number of polders in certain situations, the improvement gives +1 food and an additional food for every adjacent polder. I got that off the kind of Civlopedia page. It's not called, I think it's called like CivWiki. And +1 production and +0.5 housing. Now, this obviously, as it does with pretty much everybody I've seen make a video on this, remind me of the Kampung. Now, I'm currently playing a Indonesia game on Civilization 6 on my channel, and the Kampung is such a good, unique improvement. I can't say I've got tons of experience at Civilization 6 because I've only just recently started playing it again. When I started doing the Indonesia one, I've been playing it off camera and stuff to try and learn quickly about the game. But it's just such a good improvement. It's allowed me to build cities where I shouldn't really have been able to build thriving cities, and it's allowed my cities to grow really quickly, as well as giving a nice bonus to housing, which helps with the growth and production as well. So the kampungs are really good units. Now, although I don't think the polder is going to be as good as the kampung, these bonuses look a little bit off, and it also looks like it could be a little bit more difficult to build them. We'll have to see when when Rise and Fall comes out. But if it's anything like that, I think it's a very nice tile improvement, a unit improvement. Anything in the season ice bonus anyway. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good improvement. And although it's not as strong as perhaps the kampung, when you put it into context with the rest of the Netherlands bonuses, it's very, very nice. So that is enough of talking about agriculture right now. That's just not really my thing that much, but in the Dutch case it is very interesting. So instead, let's talk about the Dutch unique unit, which is the 7 Provinciën. So the ship's name translates literally into English as the 7 provinces, and this celebrates the 7 provinces that made up the Dutch Republic in the 17th century. Although a frigate class today in the Dutch Navy, yep, it's actually a class of ship today in the Dutch Navy. Not made of wood though, these ones. These are probably made of something a bit more sturdy. The ships included in Civilization 6 were ships of line prominent in the 17th century. One notable action of a 7 Provinciën vessel is the blockading of the River Thames in London during the raid on Medway, and the ships were also just all round pivotal to the success of the Dutch Navy in the Anglo-Dutch wars of the time. It actually eventually delivered them to victory against the English, which is quite surprising, because when you think England and you think Britain, you think powerful navy, undefeatable, that's just not true. Anyway, so in Civilization 6, these ships have increased range and combat strength and receive an additional bonus when attacking defensible districts. From the first look video, it looks like these naval units will have a base of 60 range strength and a range of 2, and also a range of and also 50 melee strength. However, when attacking a defensible district, the ship gains an additional 7 combat strength, but this is also countered by the fact the ship takes a significant penalty when in combat against another ship. From the video as well, we can see that this penalty could be as high as minus 17 combat strength when fighting another unit. That is very significant. So yeah, I imagine it'll come as a replacement for the frigate. God, I couldn't say that then. Due to its bonuses when range attacking defensible units, the 7 Provinciën, despite the minus 7 in combat strength against other ships, will be a really powerful warship. It's going to be great for capturing enemy cities if you've got a number of them, and it'll be great for just building a Dutch empire again, leading to this trading thing, leading to this kind of empire building thing. So now I think we'll talk about Queen Wilhelmina's unique ability. So her unique ability is Radio Oranje, meaning trade routes to your own cities provide +1 loyalty at the starting city, and trade routes to foreign cities or from foreign cities provide +1 culture to you. So Radio Oranje was the name of the radio station Queen Wilhelmina broadcast on to the Dutch people while she was in exile in Britain. We mentioned that earlier in the video, and hence why this is largely a bonus to her city's loyalty. So obviously, if you broadcast into your people, if you're staying in touch with them, you're giving them hope, they are going to be loyal to you. And Queen Wilhelmina, from all the reading I've done, definitely seemed like a figure people looked up to, and she was a very popular figure, which makes sense to boost her loyalty. Where are we here then? Okay, so the second part of this is going to be in regards to the culture. So if you send a trade to a foreign city from your city, or vice versa, you're going to get +1 culture. Now, on the face of it, this doesn't seem like a crazy amount of culture, but if you think you're going to be encouraged to build harbours. I think harbours still give trade routes. I know they've patched something not so long ago, obviously with the commercial hub as well. But anyway, so you're going to be encouraged to build harbours. You've got a ship that can go around the world capturing cities, you can build trade routes, etc. I think you could end up with a lot of trade routes as the Dutch. So this is going to encourage you to build a trading empire, but the culture you're going to get from this is going to be very nice to just progressing down the civics tree at a better pace. I don't think it's going to give you like a ton of culture, which is going to, oh yeah, I'm going to flat out go for a culture victory. We'll have to see, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's going to be really a real nice bonus down the civics tree. So I think the final thing I'll talk about with her unique ability is the fact that it's trade routes that this is focusing on. And I think this is just pretty simple. It's largely due to the fact that trade routes are very much associated with the Dutch. They are renowned for trading and merchant shipping, and that's why this bonus focuses on trade routes. In conclusion, the Netherlands are going to be a really well-rounded civilization to play as. They're going to excel in trade, and I just can't see any particular way, because you could go in so many different directions with them, with their bonuses. So they're going to be really fun to play as, and they're going to be really powerful. I mean, I hope that the developers are going to kind of tweak the other civilizations that have come out in the base game and obviously previous DLCs, just to make them kind of be able to compete with this. But in comparison to Korea, I think the Netherlands will be stronger. Obviously, Korea should be stronger when it comes to science, but in every other area, the Netherlands seem superior, pretty much. So we'll have to see when the game comes out. Obviously, they'll be good in different situations, so I think that Korea will be better on a larger landmass, whereas the Netherlands, obviously, they're going to need coast, they're going to need sea, they're probably going to need continents to be successful. But we'll see when it comes out. I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway. If you have, make sure you leave it a like and subscribe for more. This is my first kind of attempt at doing something like this, so please do remember to leave constructive criticism in the comments, not just abuse, because I'll cry. I won't really, that's a joke. But yeah, please do leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.